Hey everyone, welcome to this week's show. With me, as always, is Corey. Thanks for joining me, Corey. And special guest friend of the show here, GM of the last place team in the league, finding the win column. Thanks for joining us, Kyle. I can't wait to talk about that because that was the big news of the week, I think. Um, But some exciting stuff going on in the league. This league is so close. I know we were talking about in the chat today. Those standings are fucking wild. Second and like 13th, 2 points apart, right? Like this is I think the tightest it's ever been. There's only like two or three teams that are out, and even that, they're not even out. They can go on a little streak and they can jump right back into it, right? So um, I personally love the state that the league's in right now. So thanks everyone for making competitive teams.
Yeah, it was pretty surprising to see because I know Nick maybe 2 weeks ago was ninth or 10th place, and now he's in second place. I did a double take when I saw the standings because I'm actively cheering against Nick because I have his sixth rounder, right? Not because I want to see Nick lose or anything, any malice towards him. I just want him to tank for my own personal interests. And I was
Still
like, second
possible.
place. Like, yeah, it's pretty tight.
A couple losses and he can just fall right out. I think it's gonna be like this till the end of the year. You're gonna see a big chunk of people like sticking together.
Yeah,
Might
I
even
think
be
so.
that the schedule is a little more even than it usually is too, right? That not a lot of teams are going on big runs. It's like every week you're battling for that win, and then you're gonna lose some. Everyone has a better team. Well, not everyone,
No.
but mostly. Let's talk about last week's results then. We'll start with this one, which was a lot closer than really it should have been, but whew. Uh, Team Ramrod, 8-1-1, sit in first place after defeating Wonton Soup, who's now 3-6-1 in 13th place. This came down to, I don't know if anyone was paying attention. If he got a PIM, like a penalty, he would have tied me. If he got two penalties, he would have won the week. That's how close this was. Kyle, what do you think of the matchup?
Yeah, I mean he had the lead going for most of the week, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, and I was hoping he'd pull it off. Um, he does have a deceptively pretty good team. He's got some pretty like high-ranking players. I just don't think towards the say the bottom of his roster isn't that great. He's got some good top guys, but he doesn't really have that middle and bottom end to kind of boost him up. But yeah, this is a great matchup, and Shane pulled out once again by the skin of his teeth.
That's how I live. Corey, what do you think of it?
It's interesting that the only goalie that had a start for you last week is not on your roster anymore.
Lingren.
Yeah,
I know.
just
Quick
scraping
got
by
zero
to get those.
starts.
Just scraping by to get those starts. Just enough to get the win. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah,
And then we're not going to talk about this week again.
that's it. Forget about it. As a win. That's all. I do want to say this about Casey's team. Like you said, he was deceptively good, Kyle. I think if he would have made different keeper choices, I talked with him about this at work. If he would have made different keeper choices, he'd be a top team in the league. He threw Vanacek and Olmark back in, kept zero goalies.
Oh,
So like
yeah, that
that's
hurts.
huge. Those goals, I told him like I probably wouldn't have kept Vanacek either. Like
Yeah.
I would have kept one goalie and probably Olmark, knowing that he's getting 50-50 at least. But
Yeah, Olmark, the situation there was
it was up
it,
in
it
the
was a bit
air.
surprising. I think nobody predicted what was going to happen in Boston. They kind of thought Swayman would take that spot, right? And
Yeah,
Olmark's having an amazing season.
Like, amazing.
he'd be a whole different team though if he kept those two goalies. He
Yeah,
wouldn't have had to trade for Gibson, so he would have still had Kucherov. Like it would have been a scary team.
yeah, absolutely.
Rookie mistakes, Casey. That's all right.
Yeah, and he got rid of Dolan too. What the fuck?
Well, he was selling, right? Like
Pro 7, that's it.
No, let's not get into
For
that.
7.
He's still not worth more than a 7th. 7th is a fair fetch for him. Braden bye week. Now 5-4-1 after defeating Dude Where's My Car. It's now 3-6-1. We got 6th place now and 14th place. Corey, let's start with you this time. What do you think of this matchup? What happened?
Yeah, Dan, desperate for some goalie starts, picked up Kakinen. Let in 5 on Sunday to get his start for the week. Losing the goalie stats really made the difference in this one. If his goalie showed up, if Kakinen played well, then it would have been a different week. It could easily have been a tie or a win for Dan's favor. But yeah, good on Travis to get the win.
Yeah. Good on Travis again, getting the points. So.
Yeah, Travis is really making a big push the last couple of weeks. He got a rare shutout by Bennington, which helped. And with Knight being out, it's really interesting. That's hurt Dan, and that's really helped Nick because now Bobrovsky's playing, and Bobrovsky's desperate to get his starting position back. He's been playing like his old self. So there's been like a whole chain effect, right?
I'd like to add that Knight got lit up tonight. It was 7 goals last I saw. So,
oh wow.
His first start in a while there, and he got lit. So they might lean on Bobrovsky a little more, right? Going to this week, Dan's goalie situation was not good. He had one that wasn't injured, and they elected to give Binnington the start off of back-to-back anyway and said, fuck Rice. But I thought he was in trouble from the get-go, just based on that, right? So yeah, tough.
I can help you, Annie.
Nope. Tough matchup for him. The Braden bye week. All right, this is the one we want to talk about here. Cherry picking daddy, now 1-9, still in 16th. After defeating Suck My Ojik 7-5. He's now 5-4-1 in 9th place. That knocked Neil out of a playoff spot. Kyle, why don't you tell me about this?
Neil before me. Yeah, well, I got off to a strong start on the week. I had 2 shutouts the first night on Monday night, Kochakov and Anderson, and that was absolutely huge. So Neil was playing from behind all week, and then I made some key pickups that kind of boost me up throughout the week.
All right. That's a good win. Very good win. Corey, why don't you tell me what you thought of this matchup?
Yeah, the goalies were the difference maker. Like without those shutouts and those big starts, like Neil put up decent goalie stats as well, but that's why he got the win. But he called it, Neil. He said you're gonna give Kyle his first win.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with your young Hurricanes goalie because Anderson's skating again, right? I've been reading that they're gonna carry 3 goalies for now, but I don't know if they cut Ranta or if they just move him back down, even though he is ready, because both of the other guys are expiring contracts at the end of the year. So it'll be interesting, right? But again, either way, to you, he's a goalie of the future. He's not like you don't need him now. You're tanking.
No, that's it. Like if he goes back down or whatever, not a huge deal.
He'll be there next year though.
Yeah, no, he's one of my keeper players. And he's a top-notch goalie. So not a big deal to me. Although like I would find it really weird if they sent him down based on his play.
It would have to be the only reason based on his contract that he's on a 2-way and he can go down without having the clear waivers, right?
Yeah, they're just
the only way I see it happening.
Carolina's been killing, with him. He's got a 9-1-4 record. He's only lost 1 in regulation. He's been absolutely huge.
Yeah, he's their goalie. I don't think they re-sign Anderson. I think Anderson's done there after this year.
Yeah.
They might re-sign Ranta because they need someone to play with him. But
yeah,
solid backup too.
Yeah, solid. He's been a little rough there so far this year. He's never consistent, right, Ranta? That's the issue.
I feel like he's been the last few years as the backup role with a
Well,
lighter
he
duty.
puts up good numbers. It's just he's not healthy enough usually. Like he just is Anderson though? I don't know. Anderson seems to get hurt for long periods of time. Ah,
Big loss.
this one I didn't see happening. Y'all try the beef. Now 2-7-1, putting more points in between you and him, Kyle. After tying Clefbaum, is now 5-4-1, sitting in 7th place. Corey, what happened here?
Yeah, it's a tough loss on Kyle here, only getting the 1 point against Daltrey. Close matchup. Like he was only -2 behind. Not much to say. The point, like Kyle also barely won in save percentage. Like goalie stats were rough. For Daltrey, 0 wins, but his goalies weren't too bad. But yeah, just sort of luck of the draw. 7-7 split.
Yeah, I mean, Daltrey, it was a bit strange when I played him. Was it last week or the week before? He just kind of he's sneaky with those like grinder stats, right? And he's got a few lucky. I call them the lucky stats, like game-winning goals, shorthanded points. He won plus minus, hits, blocks. It's not even that his players played well. He kind of got some of those key categories that we don't necessarily always go for ourselves. It's just like, well, you hope you get some game-winning goals when he scores some goals.
You can't build your team saying I'm gonna try and stack up with some game-winning goals. Like it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, even with shorthanded points. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you can go after people who play on the penalty kill, but
That's
probably not how you're doing it.
Yeah, that's a bonus. That's not your strategy. Like
no, and Daltrey kind of got lucky.
Yeah, 3 shorthanded points for him on the week.
Oh, that's a lot.
He got outscored 13-8, but he won with 1 game-winning goal to 0. So yeah, like, a few of those stats you are kind of lucky on. You're right.
That's a free point.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Corey's here. Corey, I know you want to talk about it. 5-3-2 now, sitting in 5th place. You took down the Jager bombs here, 9-3. Dropped him down to 6-3-1 in 3rd, allowing Nick to take over 2nd here. Corey, tell me about this.
Yeah, that's a big win for me. I came out with the lead pretty early on and never really gave it up. It was always in reaching distance. You just can never catch up. But yeah, my team had a pretty good week. Big for me in the standings, getting the win here for those 2 points.
Oh yeah, every point matters in that log jam. Like,
yeah.
Kyle, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I concur with Corey. I mean, got a bit of a lead. It was relatively close, but yeah, it's another loss for Braden there. He seems to be dropping pretty quick. It seems his team's playing just fine, but I think maybe just hit a bit of a bad spell.
Yeah, I think it hurts him that Campbell's not really a thing right now. So, he drafted Campbell, or did he keep Campbell? I think he kept Campbell. He should have been a starter, and he's dropped the ball, right? So, what looked like a good duo early on, now you got Ottinger still, but not about Campbell. Who knows? He has to try and win his way back in that crease. They just signed Skinner again today for an extension, so
yeah,
let's see. That's gonna be their duo for a while, but he might be the backup now. Who knows?
$5 million, right? It's expensive backup. $5 million, isn't he? It's expensive backup.
They might try and move him in the offseason. Who knows? Or hope that he just regains his game. They're pretty patient. They've been struggling with Puljujarvi for like 6 years now, so
True.
They still haven't done anything with him. Chris Kreider Crease Crashers here. 4-4-2 now in 11th place after defeating Pacioretty to Rumble 8-4. Patch is moving to 5-5 here, a 500 team. Remember when he was 5-0? I remember.
5-1. Yeah. Oh, I checked to see 4 losses in a row now. It's a big win here for Sean to keep him in contention too. Keep him at 500. Nick out of the playoffs now, right? 10th spot,
10th place.
5-5.
Wow.
Yeah, his team had a fairly good week. Not great, but Sean's was better.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. Nick's team just did okay, put up decent numbers, but Sean had a solid goalie week, and that pushed him over the edge.
It's funny that the goalies are what made the difference when you're playing against Mr. Goaltending.
Well, he moved one.
He moved one. He moved Huso, which is arguably one that he probably should have kept. No. I don't trust those Colorado goalies. They're not even in the playoff spot right now, Colorado.
It's Merzlikins or whatever you pronounce that.
Yeah, Elvis is definitely hurting him.
Yeah, like just drop him.
Do not start Merz.
Thompson has been a beast for him too.
Oh, absolutely.
Thompson's been slipping a little bit lately, but overall, yeah. Yeah. Just he's still young, right? Maybe he can't handle the full load for that long. Maybe he needs maybe a little bit of a break. But they got Aiden Hill too, right? Vegas, so
they've been using him a bit
more.
They can
balance it a bit. You play the hot hand in those scenarios, right? So the Trash Man, 6-3-1 now, second place after defeating Semin on the ice, dropping him down to 5-4-1 and into 8th. That's not a bad drop for you, Mark. With a 7-6 win. Kyle, what do you tell me about this?
Yeah, it's a tight match here, and really the story here is Bobrovsky, earning his way back to the top spot here, and pulling it through for Nick. Mark had an outstanding week. His numbers were outstanding, and Nick just edged him out, especially his goalie stats were just out of this world.
Corey, we got to say.
The two stats they tied in too were shutouts and shorthanded points, and they both had one of each. So, their teams came out to play here. The goalies were the difference. Bob had a stellar week. He wasn't even better than Baz was this week. So, that just goes to show you how good Nick's team put up. But yeah, the goalies carried them here.
It's good. It's a good matchup. Big win for Nick. Tough loss for Mark, but you're still right in the thick of it. You're still in a playoff spot. So,
yeah, I don't doubt that Mark will be there. This is just a very close matchup, tough matchup. He'll bounce back.
Captain Crunch, 4-6 now in 12th place after defeating the Rasmus Dahlin fan club at 6-4, now in 4th. Corey, what you got to say about this one?
Yeah, his players wiped the board pretty much. Everything but blocks, 9-0. That was the difference. His goalies got a lot of starts, but he took saves, but that's about it. But yeah, good on him to keep. That's 2 in a row now, I think. Get him 4-6, slowly climbing in, but those are big 2 points, especially against a team like Derek that you weren't expected to win.
You're hurting your opponent that you're chasing, that's good, always good. Kyle, what you got to say about it?
This is another losing streak here. This guy was undefeated a short while ago, and is this 4 losses in a row for him?
It might be.
I'll look.
You know what happened to all these top teams, buddy? They ran into Team Ramrod, and they went down after that.
Yeah, they just lost all confidence.
That's it.
Shane not only destroys you, he destroys your will to play fantasy hockey.
I just don't want to play anymore. What a jackass.
Yeah. Derek beat Dan last week, so.
Okay. That's good.
So he's 1-4 in his last 5.
Yeah. He's been on a little downward trend right now. Again, he's good team.
They're hitting the rough patch of the schedule.
Yeah, that's it.
These numbers that Captain Crunch is putting up is just unreal, man. When you look at all the trades he does, and we sit here and scratch our heads, but then he goes and he puts up the numbers like this, and you're just like, what the hell?
My thing with this strategy is by the time playoff comes around, trade deadlines will be long past. If you make it in, your roster's bare now. You move anything of value, right? So you're not going to compete. You might make it in, but I guess right now it's good if he just makes it in because then it screws you over. But that's all, right? He traded his 6. Like he can't even go for Bedard. Like
no,
I don't get it, but I don't have to get it. As long as I get what I'm doing.
let him play his game.
You play your games.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an update on
prediction.
Yeah. It was an interesting week this week. So there's a few upsets. We all expected Derek to beat Domo, Neil to beat Kyle, Kyle to beat Daldry, but that was a tie. So we all went 0-3 there. Then you and Travis both predicted Braden to beat me. And then we had, what was it? I got the Mark one wrong. And then Kyle predicted Pacioretty to beat Sean. That was the only one he got wrong. So we all went 4-4. So that was pretty good. So once again, me and Kyle are in the lead, though, still tied 51. Travis 49 wins. You was 47. So still 1 week. 1 week away from top to bottom. Oh, yeah.
We still got 11 weeks of this, I think, 10 weeks. So time to make up a couple wins.
See if you make better choices today.
I'm still going to make the choices that I'm going to make. Will they end up to be better? I don't know. We do have a few trades, not as many as we usually have to talk about, but we have a few. So let's start here with a trade involving our guest, Cherry Pickin' Daddy, and the Trash Man. Trash Man out there recycling. Traded Sanheim and an 11th over to... No, sorry. You got Sanheim and an 11th for Kuznetsov and a 17th. Kyle, what you tell me about this?
Yeah, Nick sent me an offer. It looked good, so I just took it. Like, it gave me an upgrade. I'm not keeping Kuznetsov. Could have maybe gone a slightly higher pick, maybe, but I was happy with it.
Yeah, Corey, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. He hasn't been doing great. So to get 11th for him, and Sanheim, who's actually been doing fairly well in Philly, even though he's just a throwaway player, it's pretty good. 11th, 17th, pretty big gap.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a good upgrade. Yeah. Like you say, you're not keeping him. Are you gonna get higher than that? Maybe. A lot of the mid picks are already gone though, right? So
that's true.
This one was just a straight up trade here. No picks, nothing. Captain Crunch and Braden Byweek hook it up. Travis getting Brandon Tanev and Domo getting Seth Jones. Kyle, what do you think of this one?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a straight up trade. It seems even. It's a bit of a weird one, but maybe it's just filling gaps on their teams.
That's what it was for Travis. He needed a winger. He had too many defensemen after he picked up a free agent, so he had to boot one out. Corey, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know I guess classic hockey trade right between the two of them. If fits the position better, good on you. Tanner's pretty gritty, so
he's gritty.
He puts up those deeper stats, and Seattle's done fairly well. I don't know how well his offense has been though.
Jones has already been dropped for the record. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I thought I saw him in. Yeah.
Yeah. He was dropped when he picked up Backstrom this morning. So.
I don't get it.
Didn't want Seth Jones. But he actually put it in the chat.
Tanev He traded an 8th for Tanev.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fairly high pick here.
And they got nothing in return. Like he drops the player that you move for him with. Oh, I don't get it, but again, I never get it. So Sauce Pass. Let's hear your motivations here. You hooked up with Don't Try the Beef here, sending Sega in a 13th his way, taking Boldy in a 15th. What happened here?
Yeah, Tyler Seguin, he's kind of like Blake Wheeler was for me earlier in the year. Just enough that you don't want to drop him, but he's not doing enough that you're like, I'm satisfied. And Boldy has been picking it up lately. I like the left wing flexibility for me because I have like 3 only centers and I have 2 only right wings. So having a center right wing isn't much benefit there. And only a 2-round upgrade, 13th is nothing. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-round difference. Whatever, the players are interchangeable. It gives you the like I said, the roster flexibility. Then that's a good move. That if that's what you need, right? So, Team Ramrod making a trade this week, picking up Riley Smith, Karel Vejmelka, and an 11th. Captain Crunch here getting Brock Nelson, Charlie Lindgren, and a 9th. Kyle, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, this is it's an interesting trade. It's good. Lindgren, well, to my surprise, and probably your surprise too, is starting goal tonight with Kemper warming up the bench.
You're easing him in, right? So
what's that?
Him back in, like he just came back from injury. Like you
Yeah,
don't need to rush it right now. Like
yeah, and hopefully that's what it is. But like Lindgren's put up some really good numbers while Kemper was away, right? So this is a bit of like Riley Smith is great. Lindgren might be worth more down the line here. If he goes back to being backup, this is a good trade. But if he takes over the starting spot in Washington, you might have lost out a bit on this one, I guess. And not that you probably really care too much, but
I don't think that's going to happen. Kemper had great numbers before he got injured. He's just won a Stanley Cup. They just paid him all summer. It's his crease. Yes, Lindgren has been playing great. But I see it as Lindgren is a reliable backup now for Kemper. That's the way I pictured it. This was offered to me, by the way. This trade was offered to me. And I
a
said,
blind offer?
Yeah. I'd mentioned like a week or so ago that, hey, I'd be interested in Vejmelka. And then I got this on Saturday night. And I'm like, well, I know Kemper's been skating and practicing. This might be the best time to move Lindgren and get something of value. With Quick not playing, I needed a goalie who's going to actually start. Is Vejmelka going to get me wins? No. Will he get me saves? Yeah. So he's going to get me starts and saves. And yeah, I just accepted it. I was planning on dropping Riley Smith, but got a couple power play goals the other night, the night that I got him. Like maybe I'll hold on to him for a bit.
He's streaky, that's all. But
I thought it was interesting. A quarter of his goals are shorthanded.
wow.
It's 4 shorthanded goals this year, so like he's worth holding on to for a little bit.
That's one of the lucky categories, though. You never know.
Yeah. I kind of skipped over there, Corey. You have anything to say about this trade?
It's weird to grade this one. Like a lot of different pieces. Like you got a starter to a backup, like small pickup grade. Like I can see why you did it. I can't see why he did it. So I mean, I guess I favor you there.
I was pleasantly surprised to receive this the other night.
Yeah, like you're not giving up much. A 9th is nothing. You're fine. You just want to move your low pick still. I think a real upgrade. You don't care about the 9th. To get a starter, who cares? Nice. No, good on you.
So I was thinking. Cherry picking daddy involved again here. Grabbing Jared Spurgeon at 12 from Captain Crunch for Bouchard and an 11th. Kyle, tell me about this.
Oh yeah, this was to ensure victory on Sunday night. I was looking to get some players who were starting. I had no more picks left. So I went for a pretty even trade. I spiced it up a bit by offering him a 1-round upgrade. They're pretty even defensively. And it worked out well for me because Spurgeon had a good game, got a game-winning goal, and helped me cement the win on Sunday.
Corey, what do you think of it?
Yeah, it's nice when those trade pickups work, eh?
Yeah.
Sucks when they don't, though. But yeah, we haven't really seen too much of that this year, I'd say. People jumping in last second to get an upgrade like that. It's a nothing trade. There's not much to say.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's an even trade across the board. I get your logic, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Cherry. Let's talk about this in a minute here. We're gonna stop this.
All right, before we get to the fun.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
just
surprised by